tell you something. There's not a whole lot to get to today. The news is kind of light today, but I did find some issues to talk about, so we're going to get into that for today. Let's get started. All right. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? Welcome back to the Flexion Mind Network. What's everyone saying, bro? How's everyone feeling, bro? What's the word? What's good? What's popping? How's everyone feeling today on this lovely Tuesday? The weather's good outside. Weather check. Skies are blue. The skies are blue. Hope everyone's enjoying their day. Hope everyone's having fun. What's good, Noah? What's good, Jordan? Oh, hey, bruh. You're right. 8 days till the concert in South America. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I wonder how it's going to go down. I wonder how that is going to go down. But either way, hope everyone's enjoying their day. Hope everyone's having fun. Welcome back to the Flexion Mind Network. I am Flex. Welcome back to the channel. What's good, everybody? Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. What's good, Noah? Like I said, if you're part of the Discord, like I said, there's not a whole lot to get to. But I did make sure to find some things to talk about. So these four tabs right here. These 4 tabs is what we're going to be dealing with today. So we got 4 different reactions to 4 different things. Now, what do I want to start with specifically is a great question. I don't want to start with, you know what? Let's start with this. Let's start with this right here. So, Novely. I've been watching this channel for a little bit now. Not too much. Just a little bit. I think D-Chanel's reaction channel brought me to this channel and Luesta as well. So I got to give my thanks to D-Chanel because when the time I was watching her, I've been watching a lot of the videos like this one just to like sit back and just learn a little bit of like what's going on. So that now I'm in the reaction space, I'm getting to these videos now myself. So let me go ahead and hit the record button, man. Y'all know me, I can talk for days, but I want to get to the mess first before we even get into anything else. So Novely right here, like I said, shout out to D-Chanel. Because of her reaction channel, it brought me to this channel. And now that I am a reactor myself, I can check out the content for myself whenever I want. And I saw this title, which is Streaming is Failing. And I kind of want to get to that, to be honest, because it's an interesting topic, but it's hard to say that it's failing because there's still more opportunities for streamers to be successful. So that's what I'm going to be talking about for today. But listen, before we get to that, y'all do know how we start this, right? Y'all do know how we get to this. So let's go ahead and make it happen, shall we? Let's go. Yo, you, right here in the small box, right here in the small box. Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's enjoying their lovely Tuesday. Salute to the Flex Mob, salute to the Shadow Mob, and everybody and anybody in between. Thank you for tapping in with the Flex Mob Network. I greatly appreciate it. So for today's reaction, we got Novely right here. The title of the video is Streaming is Failing. I think this is going to be a good video to start with, to be honest. So let's get into the mess. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live like right now. And let's get started with this, bro. Let's go. Talk to me, guys. What's popping?
I've been depressed. I've been sitting inside all day. All I could do is overthink.
It's like, no matter what I do, it's always gonna be.
Bro, I just don't know what to do anymore, bro. This is
don't feel the same, bro. What do I do, bro? I'm so lost.
No matter who you are as a content creator, sometimes this stuff gets too difficult for you. For your mental, your personal life, things just cause you to want to take a break from this and step away from everything that's going on. And it seems like for a lot of streamers, that's what's going on. No matter how big of a size you are, how small you are, how put on you are, everything just seems to be crumbling down in the streaming industry, with even viewership showing that as everybody is having lower views than normal.
Everybody on this views is down. You can't pull up right now and hit it ain't cranking like it was last month. Is what the it is.
Streaming as a whole is taking a completely different turn than it was literally like 1 year ago. Back in the day, if I was explaining to you what streaming was, you would imagine a guy like this just sitting at their desktop interacting with live viewers. Nowadays, when you turn on a stream, you're expecting to see somebody go outside, have a bunch of celebrities on, even stuff like the Mafia-thon. Not just stream for 1 day, maybe like 4 hours. No, streaming for 30 days straight, 24/7, non-stop. And that begins to wear and tear on somebody's mental health. You don't have time for yourself, you don't have time for your family, you don't have time to make friends because you're so focused on streaming that has become your life goal. And genuinely, that's how you become the top at this. Somebody like Blackboy Max, who recently was doing 360.
Basically, what happens is that when you're a streamer, you're pretty much locked in on streaming strictly. You must sit at your chair, in front your camera, in front your PC setup or laptop, and you must be there for your audience. The same thing that I do here, but it's a little different when you're at that level with Kai, Agent, Duke Dennis. Is that his name? Duke Dennis? Blackboy Max, Aiden Ross, etc. When you're at that level, you must be in front of your peoples every day. You take a day off, they're gonna look at you funny and your views are gonna go down. That's just what it is now. So when you're at the top, it's like I don't want to say you're slave to it, because that's like looking at it at like such a harsh sense, because there's still opportunity when you are a streamer at that level. Don't get it twisted. There's plenty of opportunities at that level to be making money, but you're pretty much locked in. You're definitely locked in as a streamer. You can't move too far away from your setup, or if you do move too far away from your setup, get your camera out. Get your camera out. Let the people know, even though you're not home, I can still get to y'all. Because you constantly got to be there. But there's still opportunities, so I'm going to be talking about that later. Let's keep going.
5 all year round of streaming into this stuff and talking about how his life outside of streaming is. And genuinely, it's sad to hear.
Guys, I am a loser. I'm a loser. I don't do except sit on my couch and study and plan. In my free time, I don't talk to people. It's bad. I'm gonna change that. Y'all gotta help me make friends.
I already know the conversation of streaming wearing down, or content creation wearing down on your mental, or having negatives is a little iffy with people, because a lot of people would trade anything in their life to have the negatives that content creators talk about. But genuinely, no matter how low of a content creator or how high you are, there are just things that you can't control, and focusing on your mental health is one of the biggest things that content creators seem to neglect, because they are so heavily involved in this that they put that aside consistently. And where you see that on Twitch nowadays is this marathon meta, hit-a-thon, mafia-thon, 365 days straight on stream 24/7. Even next month, FaZe is doing a FaZe subathon where they are going to be on camera all the time. And while you're on camera all the time, you have to be providing content as much as humanly possible, and that can wear down on somebody with literally time to take a break or time for yourself, because you have to consistently be entertaining. And we can see the effects of this not only now on Kai's current Mafia-thon 3, but on his last Mafia-thon, where he literally said he was coughing up blood because of how much he was physically pushing himself.
Not yesterday, this morning, I was coughing up blood this morning, right, in the cup. Look in that cup, this blood, this spit. I am sick because my chest is all clogged. But every time where I do feel tired or it's tough and we got 8 more days left, y'all always prove to me why I should keep going. It's kind of crazy how I can't even control my own fucking stream. I can't control nothing. It's like, bro, being said is ridiculous. Like, why is you even talking like that, gang? Like, why is you even saying them words and them slurs?
I think Kai's not gonna quit streaming soon. If I'm gonna be completely honest, he's gonna quit streaming soon because he's hit the maximum. Kai Cenat hit the maximum in streaming, bruh. He's literally doing anything and everything he can for his viewers. He's burning himself out, and that's he's going to disconnect. I think, okay, this is what I think is going to happen to Kai. I think he's going to completely disconnect from technology in the next couple years. In the next couple years, probably give it like five or so years, he's going to disconnect completely because it's gotten to a point where it's like, bro, I've done everything. I provided y'all literally everything. There's not more I can get. Like, I feel like, okay, if you go on Kai Snatch stream, it's gotten to a point. If you literally see the Power Rangers, if you see the Power Rangers on Kai Snatch stream, oh yeah, he's on his way out. He is on his way out because that is the last thing. That is the last thing. Like the last straw right there because there's nothing more you can do after that. Yo, that's so crazy. So yeah, I think he's gonna completely disconnect from technology because he's done so much and he's give so much. There's not more he can do. And the crazy part is there's still opportunities.
Like, I literally come in here and try to have good streams, gang. And it's like, no matter what I do, it's always gonna be.
The marathon meta is one of the most detrimental metas, if you ask me, because you're giving yourself no real time away from the internet, which I feel like content creators as a whole already don't do, but you're having yourself see constant opinions, have people constantly clipping you, having people constantly say bad things about you, and genuinely, if you're like guys and that, you don't even get a chance to go to the bathroom and just be by yourself, because he takes a camera in there too, even when he showers, and this can cause you to literally wear down on yourself mentally, and the few moments you do have by yourself, you're going to break, because constantly seeing somebody's opinion, negative or positive, is going to wear on you. Constantly having to entertain people is going to make you super tired, and constantly having to do this for a month straight is going to cause you to break away from the internet and not really fully function as well in society. Also, with the fact that you are going to be pushing away people that truly care about you, family, friends, you're not really going to have time for them because you're over here entertaining 24/7 or as much as possible. And we can see the effects of that again with people like Black Boy Max, who during his 365 days of streaming had a moment where he came home and just broke down into tears and thought he was going to have to give up because of how draining and detrimental it was to him.
Was whatever day before the 24 hours, and I came home, bro. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I came home, bro. I just cried on my couch, bro. Like, and I don't be crying that much. Like, I cried on my couch. I'm like, bro, like, I don't even have nobody.
First, the man's wearing a wig, bro. He's at his breaking point, if I'm gonna be honest. He's at his breaking point. All these guys that are streamers, they're at their breaking point. If I'm going to keep it a stack. What's good, J Tom? How you feeling, bro? I see you drop, man. Hey, I'm gonna watch that one later. Still, as soon like my uploads are pretty much done for today, so I'm probably gonna watch that one later. I might have some free time later. But nah, it's the way with streaming and how draining it is. How stressful it is. It's so tough. It is so tough. It is not a joke to constantly sit there and make sure that you are entertaining for your audience so that they will provide for you. That's not an easy task. It is tough, bro. It is tough. So the fact that I'm hearing he just came home one day and he just straight started crying, I completely understand that. I haven't done that myself because I don't stream at that level. But it's very understandable because where's your free time? Your free time is spent in front of a camera. Your free time is not even free time because you're still live. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Bro, who do I have? I push everybody in my life away. I don't talk to my parents. I'm out here in LA. Like, yeah, I got my cousin, but it's like, bro, like, what am I even doing this for? I could win as much as I want to win, but if I'm not winning with people I care about, do it even matter? Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm really genuinely not understanding, like, why is there so much negative energy around me? Why do I feel like so much hatred? Like, you can blame other people for your actions, but that all stems from you, bro. You create your universe, and I'm creating a negative, like, terrible.
Pushing everybody away, focusing on this content stuff just for you to feel unaccomplished because you're looking around and not winning with anybody that you would like
Oh, sure. I just saw what you said. Kilo kid. Yo, but we just vibing, bro. Getting to the mess. You know what I'm talking about?
to. All of your friends, family aren't there. Unless he's not talking about the friends he has in streaming, which is another hot topic that are causing a lot of streamers to be upset. Because at the end of the day, it seems like anybody who is a big streamer nowadays, even a mid-tier streamer, are just staying to themselves and not really doing any collabs, which is another detriment to how streaming is falling apart. Because again, back in the day, you could see people in a Discord call together playing GTA RP, doing E-dates, or just having fun collaborating as a group. Nowadays, it's individualized as ever, and it seems like everyone around each other is just trying to be as hyper competitive as possible so that they can just be the next big thing, not really caring about helping other people or even staying in contact with other streamers unless it's just for a short time or one-time collab that they're gonna have to boost themselves.
One thing I would say about streaming is way less like unified, bro. That's the worst part about it. This shit not together. Niggas just be doing their own thing. Like niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't feel together. I remember in 2021, niggas would all be live. Niggas might all be in the Discord.
I completely disagree. I completely disagree because of the opportunities. So I think this is the best time to speak about the opportunities with streaming. Individually, your job as an individual in streaming is to grow your platform. Point blank period is to grow your platform. That's all it is. When you are in a group with people that are equally willing to stream like you, that's a different story. Because as long as we all understand we're doing this for one common goal, each of us with our own streams can contribute towards that overall goal. Whatever that goal that you want to set. You know what I'm saying? Whether if you're striving for a certain, like, to work with a certain company, certain brand, it's definitely possible. To be honest, at that level, it's easy. For me, it's a little different. I ain't gonna lie. My point is you got to know how to utilize your resources as a streamer. That's the main thing. Like I said before, don't get it twisted. When you are by yourself, you still got to build. You got to build your platform with you in mind. That's the major goal. But once you start to work with other streamers that are equally as hungry as you and are willing to work together for a common goal, that's when things get different. That's when the opportunities start to come in. Because, look, you're promoting yourselves as one unified brand, and companies like that. You can get the sponsorships. You can get the opportunities to work with certain companies and utilize their resources for your platform to do something crazy. It's already been shown with AMP. AMP has already shown this already, of what they can do together. And it's actually good. Like, think about that. And then the brand itself makes the revenue off of whatever idea that they have. It's just about how well can y'all work together. I know individually it can get a little narcissistic because they believe in like their own kind of stream. Like, nah, this is me right here. I don't know if my crowd can mess with your crowd kind of situation. But that's something that you got to talk with your peoples so that they can understand what's going on, so that everybody can contribute. Because it's all possible. It's just how well you can break it down to each other to make that work. It's definitely possible. It's just going to take a little bit more effort to make it happen. But once you get past that first hill, things start to get easier, if I'm going to be completely honest. What's good, everybody? How's everyone doing? What's good, Tiff? What's good, Ron? Just here, we talking about how apparently streaming is failing, which I call cap. I think it's important to be mentally prepared and pace yourself when you're a streamer. Absolutely. But at the same time, at their level, they hungry. They're completely hungry. They really want what they believe in, so that's why they pushing themselves. Every single one of these streamers I gotta respect, because they're all pushing themselves. The average person can't do this. Everybody here is pushing themselves, and I gotta respect it, because the average person could never be this. They could never do this. It's not possible. Probably a good idea to have a therapist on standby. Absolutely. See, at that point, Josh, that's a really good resource. Or sorry, not Josh, Jordan. That's a really good resource But at the same time, a lot of people don't think about that. You know? And it gets really, really like it like things like that can really help. Say for example, oh, you usually do a stream for this long. How about you take a day, do like a nice quick 2-hour stream, and you know, just like invite some people over, invite family over, have a little family dinner, yada yada yada. Do what you like. You can still provide for the people, but still do what you want after. That's definitely possible, but it's up to them to understand that. You know, all things are possible. All love to you, Flex. Love y'all, Flex Mob. Life is life right now. I'll catch up with y'all soon on day, homies. Hey, bro. Whatever's going on, Tron. I hope everything's good. Hope everything's blessed, man. One step at a time type shit. And yeah, that's all I can say right now, bro. That's all I can say for real.
Discord calls and lit shit.
Everything's
I
good.
remember it was Kai, Bruce, Rage, Silky, and Rat in a Discord call. Like, shit like that don't happen. Niggas be all doing their own shit, or niggas beefing, or niggas got problems with each other. Niggas definitely do less shit together now because this shit way more competitive, but that was bound to happen.
Streaming as a whole has just been more competitive overall. Everyone is trying to one-up somebody, and that is normally the name of the game in content creation. Who cares if this person did a love show? How about we do a love show, but it's 30 days straight non-stop? Well, why not take that idea and multiply it by 10? And instantly you see the issue with collabing with other people. It makes it even harder to stand out as a streamer, because it's not just you individually doing this, it's you and somebody else. And normally that would be fun, especially if you're actually friends with these streamers. But nowadays it just seems like everybody is in their own place trying to do their own thing without anybody else there.
What's good, Furry B? How you feeling, bro? Welcome back.
Genuinely, that could be draining. Sitting in your room talking to yourself after a while is going to be messed up, and collabing with somebody else does not only
See, I was actually talking about that yesterday. Say that again for me, please.
sitting in your room talking to yourself after a while is going to be messed up, and collabing
It's not necessarily like that though. If I'm going to be completely honest, it's not necessarily you are talking with yourself. At face value, yes, that's what it looks like. But when you know your audience is literally right there, that's not what it actually is. When you're in that moment, you're actually speaking towards the people. The reason why you're doing this is because they want to hear what you got to say. You know? They want to hear, oh, you have this video. Let's hear what you got to say about it. That's how I see it personally. So that when I sit here and I know that there's an audience and they're listening and they're like being engaged somewhat, unless y'all on some BS talking about some whole lot of nonsense in the chat, that's a different story. But as long as I know y'all are there, I don't see it as I'm talking by myself. I wouldn't talk for this much, this long by myself like that. I can't do that. I'm doing this for a reason. So I look at it completely differently, if I'm going to be honest. And that's me personally. Other people might not see it that way, but the way I see it as if I know someone's out there. I know someone's listening. There's also another reason why I'm recording, so that I can upload it as if it's just a regular reaction. You know, so I get that point, but I do not see it like that.
with somebody else does not only give you another person to talk to, but even gives you more of a community to have your content.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, them dreads look like a wig, my boy. Yo, I'm sorry. Them dreads, it look like it all come off together. I'm sorry. I just had to say something.
Go to. And in all reality, he's phrasing it as people are just being more competitive, but I like the better take that Stable Ronaldo giving, that people just don't like each other.
I don't actually think streamers have egos. I think streamers just don't like each other. Simple as that. And it's not based off egos. It's just based off they just don't like each other. And people fake friendships. Put question marks all you want. I'm gonna be honest, I just don't think people like each other. I don't really know why. I think this shit, there's plenty of money for everyone.
That's his ego talking, by the way. Fun fact.
plenty of viewership for everyone and there's plenty of content for everyone. I don't really know why this is even like a thing. Like I just don't know why people are scared to say they don't like people.
I agree with Stable Ronaldo saying that streamers really just don't like each other, and nowadays they really don't have to collab. Back in the day, yeah, collabs were fun, especially if you were tight with somebody, but since everybody is just up and can do whatever they want on their own streams and not having to rely on somebody else, they don't have to really pay for a collab. You don't really have to do that with another streamer, especially if you're not cool with them. Go in Discord calls, play GTA, not saying that everybody was pretending back in.
See, that's the issue right there. It's the kind of content that they're exposing themselves to is making them think like that. That's why I don't see it like that. Yo, Tiff, hush up. I had to say something, bro. Look, just look at him. Respectfully, just respectfully. I'm not here to just hate. I'm here to joke and kid around. That's it. But it looked like that used to be attached to a stick. That looks like a mop. I'm just saying. It looked like a bust down mop. Okay, let me stop. Let me not go too far.
In the day, but nowadays if you genuinely just don't like somebody or just don't like their community, like we have been stated with Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat, then you don't have to do a collab with them and can purely talk offline because the online presence is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, dude, guys, there's a clip of literally Kai doesn't even say anything. He scrolled right past it and shit. We had a conversation about that off stream. I mean, like, look, it obviously, like, it doesn't fucking look good, right? I mean, it really doesn't. But I mean, it's not that serious to me. I really don't care if people.
But watch this though. You see how KSI started where he was and then he transitioned away from it? That should be the goal, to transition out of this. I think with everything going on in music right now, that's going on within the industry and how the industry wants to work with streamers, I think that's why all of these streamers are still stuck, or not just in the music industry but other industries, gaming, any other industry like that. They're all stuck because they're all tied to something specific. Girl, you shouldn't have. I appreciate you. I just saw it. Yo, Tiff, what's up? But yeah, that's pretty much my point. Like, yo, because of they're tied to certain contracts or certain brands, that's the exact reason as to why they're still doing it. Because for KSI, look where he at now. Yeah, he might be a prime mascot, but he's free. You know what I'm saying? He's free. He's doing the same entertainment that he did in front of the camera, but now he's doing it off his camera, but he's probably doing it for a bigger bag. He's free. You know? And of course, like, even though you have this, you still got to work on other things to kind of make sure your income is good. That's just what it is for being in business. That's it. And it makes perfect sense. So with the industry, gaming industry, sponsorships, that's the reason why they're still tied to their desk like that. That's the reason why they're still here. They're still present. Keep in mind, a lot of these dudes at the top, they have some sort of deal that's keeping them afloat as long as they continue to do what they do. For example, Aiden Ross, Stake. As long as he's gambling, as long as he's watching the fights, watching anything related to like gambling so that he can push the website that they have, he's going to continue to get paid off of that sponsorship. And if that's all he's going to do, that's all he's ever going to be now. There's ups and downs. Yes, you're going to get a payment. The down is you're kind of locked in until that contract is up. And who's to say that you're not going to sign again for a bigger bag? They want you. They want you to stay where you are. That's why these guys are still here. Same thing for Kai. Now, I don't know specifically as to who Kai has like dealings with, but I know for a fact this Mafia 3 stream that he's doing that because he's building a school in Africa. That's what he was talking about in the beginning. If he hits a certain sub goal, the contribution, some of that money is going to go towards the school. And he was talking about how all the money's in the pot and he cannot touch the money. No matter how much money is being made, he cannot touch the money because all that money is strictly going to the school. He laid that out on day one. He had certain investors there to talk about it, help get a better understanding. A lot of people didn't get it, so of course they're going to say L all over the place, but he's doing this for a reason. So I respect it. You know? But I feel like I said before, I think he's just gonna like step away. I think he's gonna step away from all the streaming ish. What's good, Anar? What's good, Allison? How y'all doing? Welcome back. Welcome to the Flex Mind Net. We're just talking about how streaming is failing, supposedly. Let's keep going though.
People do or don't want to fuck with me online or whatever. It is what it is. At this point, I just don't give a fuck anymore, bro. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all. No, it's not about being folded. I'm genuinely telling you guys. It's just like, if people want to fuck with me online, they can. If they want to fuck with me offline, whatever, cool. But it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna fake it anymore, bro. I'm not gonna fake being buddy with people that don't want to be fucking cool with me, and it's just that simple. It has nothing to do with anything except the simple fact that I have self-respect for myself.
Truly seems sad at times when you think about it, because having this big industry where everybody can eat and do well together, people are still consistently staying divided, is truly upsetting. It can again wear down on someone's mental. Overall, it just seems like giving yourself to this content is a way to destroy yourself. And with streaming, I feel like that is the top tier version of that. Again, with these constant subathons, these genuine collabs that aren't so genuine when you truly look into them, and the amount of time and effort people put into this, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear when it comes to content creation, but there is a lot of time and effort put into this stuff. We hear about a new streamer not winning the stream, or a new streamer doing this big event just for it to fail. I don't want to say it's something odd going on with these streamers, but it's just a part of giving yourself to the internet that we have never seen before. Unlike a YouTuber, me, I can post this video and do whatever I want with the rest of my day. A TikToker can post a video, do whatever they want with the rest. But a streamer who's going to stream 10 hours is now going to be on stream for those.
I'm sorry, 10 hours is crazy. I don't know how these dudes can stream for 10 hours. Let me take that all back. I did a 24-hour stream like 3-4 times already. What am I talking about? I completely forgot. Look at me sitting here. I don't know how these dudes can sit here and stream for 10 hours straight. Meanwhile, I done did that about 4 different times, and twice technically. No, double that technically. Jesus. That's so crazy. I'm actually sick for that one. There's something wrong with me.
10 hours exactly, and then afterwards have to clip it up, do all this stuff, and it's just a lot more giving yourself to the internet than it's ever done before. And recently, Quinn Blackwell actually talked and described streaming in a very specific way that a lot of people didn't agree with, but if you genuinely listen and with that context I just gave you, will understand what she means by it.
How do you feel about Twitch? I know you do it sometimes. Is it something that you want to do more?
I have always said the biggest influencer will be somebody who gives their life to the internet. And that's what streaming is. And I respect it down. I think they are the Don Julios of internet creators. Would I ever do it again? No. Because it gives a sort of digital slavery vibe to me. And I don't want to be a slave.
First time hearing that sounds insane and definitely crazy the way that she put it. But when you really think and look back at all these streamers, they truly do give themselves to the internet in a way that no other content creator truly does.
Okay.
Like no other.
Okay. I understand the digital slave portion, but like I was saying before, whatever deal that you have is going to keep you where you are. The goal for streaming is to find a way to transition out so that streaming is not the main thing for you anymore. You know? Whatever industry that you care for, whatever industry that you believe in, that should be your goal, so that when it comes to getting out of streaming, you can rely on this for your income than this that you traditionally did originally, which is streaming. That's the key. The reason why these guys are still around is because of whoever they're signed to, whatever deal they have, whatever sponsorship they got. That's why they're still around. That's why they're tired. That's why they're fed up. That's why they don't want to do it anymore, but they still got to do it. They're locked in because of whatever contract they signed. They should have been focusing on what they could have went into with their streaming, where the streaming can take them. Maybe it can take you into sports commentary. Maybe it can take you into modeling. I'm sure. Looking at this woman right here, looking at her right now, I'm sure she's into modeling. If I'm going to keep it a stack, I'm sure she's into modeling. And from that modeling, that can probably take you into acting. Are you that kind of person that wants to be an actor, that cares about acting, wants to see yourself in movies, TV shows, etc.? That's another avenue for you as well. Streaming can take you there. Just think about the different ways of where you can go with what you want to do so that you don't need to be here forever. That's the goal. You see Kai, you see Aiden, you see any of these other streamers, because I don't know their names. If I'm going to be honest, I don't really watch them like that. But if you see any of these other guys, they're locked in. Whatever contract they signed, they got to stay where they are. That's what they cared about more instead of transitioning to something else. Is it? That's all it is. Can't say I went from streaming to being a rapper, but still streams and does boxing too. Absolutely. What's good, Quickie? How you feeling?
I don't want to be a slave.
First time hearing that sounds insane and definitely crazy the way that she put it. But when you really think and look back at all these streamers, they truly do give themselves to the internet in a way that no other content creator truly does. Like no other YouTuber, like no other TikToker, a Vine, Twitter, whatever you want to put. These streamers be giving their lives to this stuff and genuinely are non-stop with it. We can see that with somebody like Stable Ronaldo, who is most recently taking a break from content creation after he's been streaming since he was like 16 years old, with a bunch of his life being on the internet and even offline still being on the internet so he can produce the best content possible.
Everybody would love to be in this position of being a streamer, and so would I. I'm very grateful and I'm very blessed to be in this position, but I do feel burnt out. I've been streaming for about 6 years.
Damn.
Where I never had a break. Every single thing has been documented since I was 17. I never really got time off the internet. Twitter comms and like the has been extremely toxic recently, and I think it's been throwing me off too. Like I feel like I haven't been able to enjoy like I don't know, bro. It's just there's a lot. The internet is so AIDS right now.
It can be sad sometimes witnessing someone whose life you beg for, like a content creator, be blown or messed up behind the scenes, or even while doing the stuff that they're supposed to love. And I know a lot of people, again, do not like to hear content creators complain. I would know. It's like my second time making a video talking about the streaming industry and how bad it can be behind the scenes, but truly these still are people at the end of the day. And being on the internet shows you that a lot of people don't treat internet personalities like they are actual human beings with feelings.
I genuinely feel like niggas do not look at me like a human. My line, I be reading some of the shit people be saying about me. I'm like, damn, bro, like, y'all don't think this can hurt my feelings? You just plain, just straight up don't give a fuck. But I think niggas really think like I'm just like a character. I'm not like an actual human with real feelings and all that shit.
No one's trying to compare streaming or any other content creator's job to a normal 9 to 5. I think we've already had that discussion and we know the validity of that. But as a content creator, they still go through hardships. And recently, streaming has been failing dramatically with all the stuff that's been going on, from IRL streamings being gone, from streaming being more dangerous, to people just feeling burnt out, fake friends. All of these things combined together make it so that this type of industry is just not it for a lot of people who have even been in it for decades. And I don't want to say looking for a way out, but just looking for a break from all the negativity that can come with this. At the end of the day, though, that is just my opinion. If you want to tell me your opinion, though, the best place to do would be the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy this video, maybe consider giving it a like. And if you enjoy content like this, maybe consider subscribing, because I post like this every single week and never miss out on a single upload if you hit that bell icon, because you'll be notified the millisecond a video goes live. That's enough for me. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
So does your hair stay like that all the time? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm teasing. It's not failing. It's okay. No, it's not failing. That's a misconception. I don't see it that way. There's still numerous of ways where streaming can still be innovative within everyday life. There are many ways to promote people through a stream to help other people's business. Just imagine if Keith Lee was going live every time he did a food review. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. Just literally sit there and think about that. Utilizing their star power, their platform to help other people. That's one way. That's like a form of digital marketing, but just made effortlessly. You know, just utilizing your fan base to help boost other people's businesses. That's the easiest way to look at it. But like I was saying before, like, you want to transition out. This is fun. All this is fun, but it's not going to last forever. You got to think of ways where you can take this to put you in other places, other avenues, so you can be successful over there as well. That's the key. That's the gateway. I don't care for the complaining. I don't care for none of that, because whatever you did, whoever you're signed to, Whatever sponsorship you got, that's the reason why you are there. So you must remain where you are until that deal is up or that contract is ended. Whatever you want to do after, that's up to you. You know? So no, I don't think it's failing because people are still getting sponsorships to this day. So I don't sit here and I don't want to believe that. Still a good video though, because I see where he's coming from the people that he pays attention to. Yes, it's a little different though, especially here on YouTube. For Twitch, for Kick, another story. On YouTube, it's a little different, if I'm going to be honest. So, like I said, I get where he's coming from, but I don't see it that way, personally. There's just too much you can do to say that this is failing. You know? So, that's a good first video. Still some more videos to get to. What's good, Plus? What's good, Josh? How y'all feeling? Shout out to South Africa, bro. Love to see it. Don't put that in the comments. Hush up. Hope y'all enjoying yourselves, though. We're just getting started. We just handled the first video talking about whether if streaming is failing or not. Gave my personal opinions. There's just too many opportunities out there to say that it's failing. It's just the variety, or not necessarily variety, but like it's just about where you want to take yourself with this thing called streaming. That's the main thing. Where do you want to go? What is your destination? It's the same thing when I talk about artists. Like, yo, if you're really serious about your craft, you're really serious about making music, you need to understand you need a destination to get to so that you can actually be great. So that every avenue that you stop at, it's helping you towards your overall goal. My destination, industry-wise, whether if it's in the music industry here in Toronto, or if I work with Complex or I work with Nike, because I'm also in the fashion, sneaker culture, everything. Like I want to be where I want to be in an industry where I can fully believe in it and I know I can give to it. That's the main thing. And then I can get a salary out of it. That's where I want to go. The biggest one for me is music for sure. Like I really would want to be behind the scenes actually putting in work on producing artists and figuring out how to break artists and all that. So that's just me. So if this can take me there, that would be perfect. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing here so that maybe one day I can make that work out there, you know? Maybe they should transition into podcasting. Maybe they would have more control. Unfortunately, Jordan, podcasting is dying for sure. There's just way too many podcasts. There's way too many podcasts, and there's not enough time to listen to everything, right? With streaming, it's a little different. There's plenty of streamers out there, but a lot of people at the bottom are all doing the same thing. They're not being innovative. They're not trying to do anything different. It's just all the same thing, which means not a lot of people are going to get to that. Podcasting would have been a good idea pre-COVID, or no, during COVID. That would have been a good idea to start during COVID, if I'm going to be super honest. If they were doing it back then, yeah, cool. But we're 5 years past that from when it first started. So, no, it's not going to work out. And that's just what it is now. You know, so you got to think of other ways of transitioning out of streaming. And don't worry, there's still many ways out there. It's just depending on the kind of niche that you have and the passions that you really care for. I want to be where the people are. Yo, don't kill me. Yo, Furry B, don't kill me, bro. Hey, it's true. It's true, bro. This is what it is, you know? But yeah, too many opportunities. You just gotta really pick your brain and figure it out. That's it. That's all I gotta say for this one. But this was a good video to start with. All right. What time is it? 6:20. 6:20. Let's do this one.
Rap snitch.
The art of self-snitching. I think this is going to be good. I think this one's going to be good. This one's by Luesta. And I don't think I've done many Luesta videos. When I sit and think about it, I really don't think I've done a lot of Luesta videos. I think I only done like 2 or 3, maybe. So I've definitely been lacking because I'm sure he has a lot of topics out there that will be hitting. But I'm here right now. I'm still subscribed. It's not like I'm not subscribed. It's just that the videos are not popping up for me all the time because, you know, YouTube be evil. Anyway, yeah, the art of self-snitching. Let's get into this one right here, bro. Y'all know how we start this. Let's make it happen. Yo, you, right here in the small box, right here in the small box. Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to the channel. Back here with Luesta. Finally, it's been a hot minute, bro. I don't usually catch the contact, but when I do, I'm tapped in. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. The art of self-snitching. I think the title is self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. Hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live, like right now. And let's get started with this, man. Let's go. Talk to me, bro. Let's see what you got. It's going to be a long video, too. Let's go.
Rap snitches, telling all they business. Sit in the court, they be they.
Nigga, what?
Rap snitches, telling all they business.
Don't do that.
Sit in the court, they be their own star witness. These immortal words were uttered by MF Doom and Mr. Fantastic in 2004, but they've never had more relevance than they do today. In the modern era, rappers have progressed from spinning tall tales about criminal activity all the way to modern drill scenes recounting the exact details of crimes as though they were filling out ready-made police reports. There are plenty of notable stories of popular rappers engaging in this ill-advised behavior. But while things like Bobby Shmurda reflecting on how Mitch caught a body like a week ago didn't exactly help anyone's case when the feds came calling, those bars were practically encrypted compared to how blatant some artists were when it comes to detailing their exploits. But sometimes, a throwaway line like that is enough to fuel legal drama. Prior to his untimely passing, Draco the Ruler's reference to having RJ tied up in the back on 2016's Flex Freestyle became important evidence during his first-degree murder trial. And based on what he'd given them, the prosecution then created their own narrative about his material while he was being held behind bars.
They were doing to you. They were going through all your music and saying this guy's violent.
Why you look so scared? Hey, you the one snitching on yourself, bro. Why you look so scared, bro? Why you looking all over the place? Relax, breathe.
They were doing to you. They were going through all your music and saying this guy's violent.
Hold on, let me help y'all out. Let me help y'all out because these niggas be fools, bro. These niggas be fools, bro. Go ahead.
They were doing to you. They were going through all your music and saying this guy's violent. He's this, he's that.
You
all
okay,
based
buddy?
off of bits and pieces.
You doing okay? You doing all right? All right, I'm teasing. Entertainment purposes.
From your song.
They use their own interpretations of what they think something means, or because a lot of people don't know what I'll be talking about. Half the time, I don't know what I'll be talking about.
Right.
So it's like weird in court where you trying to tell me what I mean.
Right.
It's just weird.
Well, and on top of that, they were saying the Stink Team was a gang.
Yeah.
You were the leader.
I was the leader because of my name,
Right.
the ruler.
But where just one incident like this is enough to put you under the microscope of the law, some artists have made a whole career out of it. And while that kind of exposure might have made them blow up online or given their careers a quick boost, it also blurred that line.
Y'all know it's just okay to lie, right? Just make the lie believable, bruh. Damn. Jesus.
Between real life and entertainment in both their music and media appearances. In fact, it's so common that it's led artists to be wary of doing interviews with people like DJ Vlad due to their tendency.
And this man's a whole fed. Y'all sitting there admitting it's to a fed, bruh.
To lead rappers to incriminate themselves on camera for the world to see.
Might hold you up to a hostage. I got a couple indicted. Realistically, you're a baiter. Of course you wouldn't say I got anybody indicted, but you finished. Some of my peers, some of the people that sat in this seat aren't fast enough, intelligent enough to know when it's been.
And where is Surf now? In jail, bro. You snitched to a whole fed, bro.
Being swung their way. You didn't do it, but hell yeah.
If the police ever try to seize any sort of footage, I would deny it.
You don't got to. Go straight to YouTube.
And unfortunately, there are plenty of rappers whose careers were cut short when they learned that clout isn't always worth the consequences. It's your boy Luesta, and this is the art of self-snitching. If informing on yourself is truly an art form, then one of its pioneers comes from the mean streets of Brooklyn. And now, he may never place his feet on the outside world ever again. Referred to as the big homie in the streets, Raw Diggs was about as real as they came in the New York hip-hop scene. Through his high-ranking position in the murderous Mad Dog Blood.
But Raven, keep it a stack though. And first of all, what's good, bruh? Hope you're doing all right, but keep it tall right now, man. Keep it tall. Where is he? I'm just saying, where he at right now, bruh? You could have avoided this, bruh. You know, everybody knows Vlad is a Fed, one way or another. And you just exposing the whole thing to him like that. Pause. Like, bro, why you sitting with him? Why you want to sit with him for? That's what I'm talking about, bro. Don't talk to him. There's a reason why all these dudes be getting latched up. And there's one common theme. They sit with Vlad. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I can't. I'm not going to defend that.
Raw emerged from the Gowanus projects with verifiable credentials that made him a perfect candidate for a new voice of the city. And for a while, he was making big strides, even teaming up with rappers outside of New York, such as Waka Flocka Flame.
Talk about the music, man. I mean, the music, man, you know, basically we got the Vanguard movement that I'm doing, man. The company I started this year, I've been very successful. You know what I'm saying? For the past couple months, you know, I've made a lot of progress as being a novice in this business, you know what I mean? You know, we got the GMG movement. My son off. You know what I mean? A lot of people familiar with what he doing. You know what I mean? We got some big projects coming out of this whole camp. You know what I'm saying? And we got that collaboration with the Brick Squad. You know, my son Waka Flocka Flame. You know what I mean? But we just out here mashing right now. You know what I'm saying? We're connecting all over the board. We got that Desperado project. That's all of us coming together, all of our separate entities becoming one. And we just mashing the game. You know what I'm saying?
As the audience gained an interest in him, Raw Diggs became an increasingly well-known public figure. But he never shied away from his gang affiliations and felt that there was a misunderstanding about what it really entailed.
You know, a lot of times people say, you know, they see me and they be like, damn, he's a highly intelligent brother. You know, this and that. You know, why? You're not an ignorant dude. I can see you, but you're not ignorant. So it's like, yo, what are you a part of that? Well, I'm a part of this because of what.
It's not really about Vlad putting him away, but it's like the info that they give on Vlad's platform. We all know the feds be watching. Everybody knows. It's not Vlad like, oh, there he is. No, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm talking about when Vlad is a Fed. What I'm talking about is that the feds are watching. They be watching Vlad. That's what I'm saying. Like, through that, he's a Fed. He must have promoted his ish to the police. Talking about, oh, I be getting all these dudes to admit to their crimes. All y'all gotta do is watch and take notes. Like, what? What? What?
What it stood for, what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I had to express that to people. They be like, yo, damn, you know, most of the people, they probably see in their neighborhoods have a negative reflection of what we stand for, which is not what we really stand for, and they look at that, and that's their whole perception. So sometimes somebody has to give them the real, you know what I mean?
But there was a downside that arose from all this new attention, and that's the fact that it wasn't just hip-hop fans who were taking notice of his lyrical content. On tracks like Eulogy, Raw discussed his fear of going back to prison, spitting,
I'ma wave the heat, I solemnly swear, before I let him give me 120 years, 120 years, imagine that there.
Later in that same song, he declares that, I'ma stop with all that. Too much information will make me my own rat. And unfortunately for Raw, he was about to be proven right when a massive 23-count indictment struck.
Accused Blood's gang leader and rapper on the rise tried to counter the government's claims that he's a lord who terrorized his own community.
As Raw was taken into custody, he was defended by his friends and allies who tried to undo the damage of his public persona.
The music is basically us talking about the life that we come from, not necessarily saying this is what I did. You know, this is a very intelligent man, and this is not a man who would commit all these crimes and didn't tell you for you to use it against him.
The music videos in and of themselves and the lyrics in and of themselves would never be proof beyond a reasonable doubt. But could it be something that a jury takes into consideration when they're weighing the credibility of other witnesses or weighing the credibility of other evidence? Absolutely.
But unfortunately, his bars and statements in interviews alluding to his life as a gangbanger were coupled with an FBI NYPD probe involving more than 65 undercover purchases. As the cops built their case, his songs with Murder Team rapping partner Uncle Murda were placed
Yo, Tiff, you don't have to say that.
in the firing line. However, his longtime collaborator claimed it was actual informants that really ensured he got locked up rather than anything he said on wax.
While he was out, were used to convict him, to put him back in prison. They try to use some of the lyrics that he said in a few records that me and him did. They try to use some of the lyrics that he said and bring it up in the case. But they was already investigating, just trying to bring up on him. Because you know what it be, you have people that get locked up in the neighborhood that he's from, that knew him. They get locked up. They know his history as far as certain things that he might have been through. And then, you know, they see him doing different things, and it's like a get out of jail free card. Get locked up and they start saying, well, I know he did this, or they say he did this before, he did this, and then you got a bunch of people that's trying to get out of jail saying the same thing. So it makes the feds try to build a case, because all they need is a couple people saying a few things about you and they can build a case. And that's what he got caught up in right now. So that's the but you know, they were trying to give him the death penalty. That just got, so that's some good news. He's no longer fighting. He's no longer fighting the death penalty. That's good news.
Among those lyrics cited in the case were lines like this from their Slowed Down remix, where Diggs spit, "I don't respect the shooter because he shot me in the legs, and 2 days later he was..." See, if he was smart, he would have shot me in the head, because I can't get you from my hospital bed. Now, this isn't exactly an unusual lyrical approach in hip-hop and could easily be written off as a fantasy, but when you've already got 23 charges against you and the picture of you as a hardened kingpin has been built, it's not exactly going to help either. And according to court papers cited in the Daily News at the time, this was no work of fiction. Back in the year 2000, Raw Diggs, whose real name is Ronald Herron, was shot by a rival but survived. Herron's associates allegedly killed the shooter 2 days later. He had already beaten a previous murder charge, but prosecutors suggested he was also behind the 2008 execution of Richard Russo, who was killed in a Gowanus Project's elevator, as well as the killing of Victor Zapata.
But why talk about that? I'm sorry, you guys are rappers. You guys are rappers. Why are your bars around this? Ain't nobody was even asking for this level of rap. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, I get it. They want to branch out. They want to be different from the average rapper. So they gonna talk about street life, which is a lane that at the time it wasn't really like tapped into. Like, everybody was talking about the theatrics with the street life. They weren't talking about like the nitty gritty ish. Valid. But your bars don't need to be wrapped around the shit y'all done, bro. What are you doing? You setting yourself up for failure. You don't have no longevity if that's the route that you want to go. Like, there's ways to structure these things. That's why, oh my God. Yo, having a vocabulary is so important as a rapper. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. There are better ways to paint these pictures. But y'all using pencil crayons and y'all are not using the acrylic paint that y'all are supposed to use. Which is why y'all getting caught so easily. It's crazy that I'm going to sit here and try to defend you knowing that you said you done killed about 16 different niggas in one song. And then you label the song Shootout. Go to jail, nigga.
In a Witkoff courtyard the following year. And while Uncle Murda can't say for sure that everyone was pointing the finger at Diggs, there are verifiable examples where people did. One of the most infamous is Saquon Wallace, a former dealer and hitman, who claimed that Raw once convinced him to disguise himself as a woman, complete with makeup and a wig, to carry out a hit on a rival. Since
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Let me hear that again.
Himself as a woman. A former dealer and hitman, who claimed that Raw once convinced him to disguise himself as a woman, complete with makeup and a wig, to carry out a hit on a rival, since that same tactic had worked for Raw before. As his defense team struggled to build a case, Raw took the bizarre step of claiming he wasn't subject to US constitutional law, insisting instead that he was a sovereign inhabitant of the country. In response, lawyers pointed to various times where he had essentially told on himself, including a since-deleted tweet where he
Go to jail! Go to jail! Don't
bragged about beating a body in a case he'd previously been acquitted of. With the deck stacked against him, Raw's very public
Yo, what's good, T-Dub? How you feeling, bro?
displays of his gangster credentials meant that it was easy for the court to hand down a crazy verdict of 12 life sentences plus 105 years. And while this was everything he had hoped to avoid, even fellow rappers such as Myson believed that he ultimately knew what awaited him given how he was moving.
We knowingly understand what comes with this. We want the lights and we want the glitter and we want this, but we understand the only thing that's promised is jail or death. Like, y'all want to glorify this and y'all want to do this, but when you engage in those things, you basically you make a contract to give up your life at some point. Nobody knows when, but you give.
I'm sorry, what's the point of having your goatee that thin? This nigga got a malnourished goatee, bro. Cut it off.
Up your life.
And in retrospect, some of those bars on tracks such as Eulogy seem to support the notion that he knew where he was headed and had begun to come to terms with it. Given how prophetic the song was, I can only imagine Raw was already seeing the writing on the wall at this point, under surveillance, receiving indictments, etc. Now 12 years into his first life sentence, Raw Diggs holds the special distinction of being the first rapper residing in ADX Florence, the US's only supermax prison. He shares a home with some of the most notorious criminals in the world today, including founding members of the Aryan Brotherhood and convicted terrorists. In fact, it's so feared that even former wardens have spoken out about how brutal this prison, where they're held in solitary for 23 hours a day, really is.
Exclusive interview, a former warden and a former inmate tell us death is easier than life at the federal supermax.
It's as isolated as the prisoners who call it home. The prison, called ADX Florence, is a tomb for the living.
Despite the regular campaigns to free him that you see online when a rapper is incarcerated, the likelihood of Raw coming home anytime in the next century is very slim. But he's not completely given up, and is still showing his prowess with the bars during rare contact with the outside world.
Talk to Tory Lanez, he'll fix that up. The key is to keep it hyperbolic with some of that ish. The justice system doesn't look great in this video as well. See, Josh, I don't disagree that the justice system doesn't look good, but at the same time, we know about their quotas now. We know about their quotas, so to be fair, if they're just out there giving the information to them pretty much, why are we surprised that they pouncing on them? Y'all throwing the info out there and knowing that they need to get about 3 more people in jail. Let's go check out. Let's see what kind of new music is out today. Let's see what we can find. Bro, what are we doing? Why are you snitching on yourself, period? What happened to the golden rule? Don't snitch, don't talk, don't say nothing. But y'all want, boy, don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started because I'm going to say something bad. Why are you snitching, period? That's all I want to know. Because you're not smart for doing that. You want to have a long rap career, but look at what you're saying. That doesn't make sense. You can rap about literally whatever you want. You just got to make it compelling enough, have a good story behind it, and let your bars speak for you. These guys out here letting the crime speak for them. And then wonder why they in prison. Okay, buddy.
Yet for every case like Diggs, there are others where there was at least a light at the end of the tunnel after it all went down. Among those who actually managed to escape with their life intact after a lengthy bid is Cali rapper X-Rated, a notable member of the Garden Block Crips. He was active in both the streets and the studio all at once. But shortly after his debut album Psychoactive was released, his own music would be used against him, tying him to the home invasion of Patricia Harris, the mother of a rival gang member. She was shot through the heart in March 1992 when gang members stormed her home looking for rivals, and police claimed that the rapper was the ringleader. On his part, X-Rated maintained it was all set up and that he wouldn't have purposefully killed the rival's mother because the code among criminals forbids it.
I don't have
have no indictment for gang culture. I'm not that person. I don't think that's the correct method for gang diversion anyway, to tell you to hate something you love and then think we don't have a conversation about me changing my life. That wouldn't work for me. So all I can say is just that these people called and said this was an error. That wasn't something someone intended to do. And if it had been a house full of gang members, hey, I'd be on bro, you know, because I would have happily all of them. That's where I was at with my psychology. I would have done that. I thought that was perfectly acceptable behavior.
However, not everyone agreed, and before long, everything he'd ever said or done was helping to build a case. Due to a line on his album, which spoke of kicking doors down and mamas, prosecutor Pete Harnd argued that this was practical.
Bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Look at the crime and then look what you... Are you serious? Are you serious right now, bro?
I would have happily all of them. That's where I was at with my psychology. I would have done that. I thought that was perfectly acceptable behavior.
However, not everyone agreed, and before long, everything he'd ever said or done was helping to build a case. Due to a line on his album, which spoke of kicking doors down and mamas, prosecutor Pete Harnd argued that this was practically a prediction of the slaying of Patricia Harris. When the music was played in court, prosecutor Pete Harnd said he could see the victory in the jury's horror. Determined to keep it real, X-Rated admitted to being a gang member when...
Yo, bro, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is ridiculous. This makes me so mad. This makes me so mad. I swear to God, this makes me so mad, bro. What are you doing? Like, Jesus God.
When on the stand, with Harnd later commenting that he was speaking honestly at least, but I don't think it was necessarily a wise course of action. Although he said that he could have testified and gone home, X-Rated left it in the hands of the court. This turned out to be a mistake, as the mostly white middle-class jury...
You did time with Mac Dre? Jeez, bro. And to your point, J-Tom, don't snitches usually get stitches. Here's the thing. What if the snitch came from, like, what if the snitching came from the source? So in that point, what do you say? Because someone that snitches usually is somebody that's snitching on somebody. But what if the snitching is actually the source? What do you do then? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if snitches get stitches. What if the person that's snitching is the source? Who getting the stitch?
He was clearly offended by his music. According to Harnd, it may not have been the reason they convicted him, but it played a powerful role in shaping their decision. Another thing that was used to ensure his conviction was the cover of Psychoactive itself, with cops and investigators claiming that the caliber of the pistol he held to his head matched the one he used in the murder.
The cover photo shows X-Rated holding a gun to his own head, taken weeks before the Harris. This is similar to the types used in the Harris shooting. Detectives cannot find. Sacramento County DA officials may subpoena the record company for the unreleased recording.
This hysteria came not only from what they witnessed, but also from the songs they included on the project.
17-year-old rap singer X-Rated is one of 5 teenagers accused in the murder of 42-year-old Patricia Harris. Just 2 days before the X-Rated finished this recording. The lyrics of the song called The Murder are hauntingly similar to the fatal shooting of Patricia Harris. Part of it goes, I'm knocking down doors, I'm mamas, daddies, nephews, I'm daughters, sons, and sparing you. William Harris, the surviving husband of Patricia, is confused by it all, but he says the song and the murder of his wife may be related.
And they used the album for conjecture that was the weapon, because they didn't find a weapon. There was no way to ever say it was. Nobody said it was, so they really just used it to say, see, here he is holding a...
Right, because on the cover, it has you pointing a gun to your head, and they're trying to say that this was the same type of that was used.
Right, which is just conjecture.
But they never found the actual weapon.
They never found the gun.
Sentenced to 31 years behind bars, X-Rated had a tough life in prison, where he almost lost his life when a corrections officer allegedly put a hit out on him. But in his version of the story, he handled the situation before it could go left.
And so my instincts is too close. I went.
Do you see they set him up? Do you see how they set him up, bro? This nigga set up so bad. Bro, it's one thing to have the weapon on your head on the album cover, but to use the same thing? Oh my God. They said, here, take it. This man's like, all right. Yo, you can't make this up. The man got set up, bro.
Straight at him and bap, bap, bap. He got dropped, and it turns out that was the person that had the primary weapon that would have been most harmful. And so now everybody else is...
As long as he did his time, but like, I literally just see the way they set him up, bruh. It's like they set him up for failure from the start and you didn't even realize it, bruh. Oh my goodness. It was probably from a song he made before the crime. No, that's exactly what the song is. It's before it. Before that happened. But you see how everything is threaded together. Do you see how everything is threaded together? And keep in mind, he said himself, psychologically, he was in that mode to be a shooter. He said that on the phone. He said that psychologically, I would have happily done that. He didn't know in the moment, bruh. He didn't know. They set him up for failure. Oh, I'm so thankful I can pay attention and really weed this thing out, bruh. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Is thinking now, and you're supposed to run. Somebody pulled a knife on you, you're supposed to run. But Barry and Dooney and others, I knew that's if you turn your back, you done. Yeah, you gotta make it. We gotta do this, and in doing so, you can look that man in his eyes, Kev. And I got a couple scratches and scrapes and bruises, but ain't nobody damn near nothing. Damn, that's a lie. And so the reason they think that lie is because when I was getting, so I'm in the room and they looking, they examining, and I got a motherfucker asking me questions, and the cops are mad about it. The nurses and shit are angry at this dude, and they like, hey man, excuse me, and they work, checking out to see if I'm in mortal danger right now. And he's like, who did it? Who did it? And so I close my eyes and lean back. I swear to God, I swear on my mother's life, fully conscious, fully fucking fine, other than these scratches and what adrenaline through the roof. I don't feel no pain.
But as you could probably tell from that interview, it wasn't conducted over the phone or in the pen. After spending 26 years in the penitentiary for a crime he didn't commit, X-Rated was released. Miraculously, his music career isn't even over either, with the rapper signing to Tech Nine's Strange Music following his release. 26 years in jail, now signing a national deal and performing in front of thousands across the country. Good for him. You know he is as happy as can be. Given his talents on the mic, there was always a feeling that the conviction robbed the scene of a potential star. But
bro, think about it. Let me break it down, because like I already seen it that way. Everything, the whole setup, the whole picture of what happened and of the person that he is in that moment, saying how he would have been done that, how he would have did this. It's not necessarily about like what actually happened. Remember, when you're in court, it's not about what actually happened in the moment that brought y'all here. It's about what's more believable. What's more believable. And whatever picture that these individuals have painted is the exact reason why he was sent away to prison. Just think about that in a second. Like, just think about how nasty these things can get and how evil these things can get. I remember this song lyric. I think it was on Chaining Day. Came out not too long ago. Have you ever had a lawyer? Have you ever had two lawyers working the same case? Two separate lawyers in a courtroom working the same case, but they're working it in their favor and not your favor. Because they just want their payment and to be done with it. You understand how crazy that is, bruh? There's so many variables and so many aspects that can go into somebody going to jail for the wrong thing. And if the picture looks clear enough, it's bye-bye. It's bye-bye to the regular world. Cause you gonna be behind the bars, and the world behind the bars is a whole new world. Just think about that. It's crazy. I already know because I pay attention to stories like this. A lot of them in the past. It's been a while since I read, listened to anything like this. But the reason why I'm sitting here, just disappointed, frustrated, fed up, angry, but I'm laughing. Like, I've seen this too many times. This is ridiculous.
For other notorious individuals who had a tendency to tell on themselves, their ability to self-snitch always outshined whatever they had to offer as an artist. Here, we have the story of A.R. Ab. When it comes to perfecting the art of snitching, the most prolific of all time might be Philly's A.R. Ab. A member of the OBH crew alongside Dark Low, A.R. Ab was beating murder cases from 2005 onwards, and even survived being shot 10 times in 2011. The only problem was that at times, it felt like every time you pointed a camera in his face, he was going to confess to a whole bunch of crimes that you didn't even know he was responsible for. At times, he even ratted on his friends without thinking anything of it.
You cowards, man. Come see us, man. I swear to God, you come down this block, you gonna get filled up with so much smoke, nobody gonna make it off the block. I promise you, you won't make it off this motherfucker. Block, man. Anyway. On everything I love. You come up on us, man, you're not gonna make it. Niggas gonna blow your shit clean off, man.
Over time, this became a reputation that basically made him a meme in hip-hop, with full compilation videos being devoted to times where he spoke without thinking.
I already took 13 shots. I don't know what it's for, you know why? Cause I kidnapped, I robbed. I'ma get it. I'm the type of dude I can't be broke. You see, I got this pole bill and I fix this shit up from what? I don't make no money off rap. I extort people. So it's one of my hustles. Got shot a lot of times behind it.
Although he was generally a regional star, A.R. Ab propelled to global fame by being referenced on Drake's Meek Mill diss track, Back to Back. As he spit, I drove here in the Wraith listening to A.R. Ab. Suddenly, it looked like he might be progressing from mixtapes to making major money in rap.
Did that kind of change people's perception of you?
Yeah. So like now everybody kind of like take me serious now. You know, you gotta understand, like, a lot of people know my street reputation. So they whole thought process of me is Ab don't really rap. He just out here running around with acting crazy. When Drake mentioned my name, it opened up a lot of ears who didn't know who I was. Then they say, you know what, listen to his music. It kind of made me say, I'm gonna take this shit serious, man.
Although he was grateful for the legitimacy that this brought to his career, the problem was that it placed...
Drake shouted him out? Hold on, let me get that right.
Oh, acting crazy. When Drake mentioned my...
Drake shouted out A.R. Ab? What do you know about A.R. Ab, bro? Who taught you?
Name, it opened up a lot of ears who didn't know who I was. Then they say, you know what, listen to his music. It kind of made me say, I'm gonna take this shit serious, man.
Although he was grateful for the legitimacy that this brought to his career, the problem was that it placed a greater spotlight on him.
Bro, I am trying my hardest to get away from the name Drake, and it still shows up in a random video that I click on? That is crazy.
And the cops had plenty of material to work with from his high-profile interviews.
I made a lot of money on the streets. Not like Lord Big Meech money, but like I made hundreds of thousands of dollars on the streets. You feel what I'm saying? I got little cousins and little brother who's already this people. You understand what I'm saying?
What?
We had a rap group of like 4 or 5 artists, man. 2 of them in jail for right now. 2 different murders right now. And these happen to be the same guys I was with when me and Cassie got locked up for the murder. These is my rap group people. And you got that nasty in the streets, whereas though.
Following the biggest name drop of his career, A.R. Ab's momentum would be brought to a crushing halt. This was following an indictment based on his role in a trafficking ring. Amid the offenses that he faced, police pointed to one of his tracks as evidence, linking him to the murder of rival dealer Robert Johnson. I'll have the whole city scared. Stand near the home. I call Taz and tell him, bring that dude's head to me. Later, A.R. Ab's associate Dantes Taz Dewar ultimately pleaded guilty to Johnson's murder. After the court had heard all the evidence, he was handed a sentence of 45 years. And according to legal experts, his team didn't make things any better for him.
And what happened at ARAB's sentencing?
Why am I seeing lawyers for hire right now? Jesus Christ, where am I?
Was a tragedy. The judge, before he announces the sentence, says, young man, you've been sitting in my courtroom listening to the statements of the victims, listening to the prosecutor discuss your crimes, and the entire time you've had your hands folded like this. dismissive and jeering. You don't look contrite. You don't look like you respect this process. I have the ability here today to give you a range of sentences.
I want y'all to hear that again.
Dismissive and times, and the entire time you've had your hands folded like this. Dismissive and jeering. You don't look contrite. You don't look like you respect this process.
Just think about what this man is saying in the moment, how you don't look contrite, how you're not respecting the process. Your body language is showing you're sitting there like this. That's just proof that court and being in court is performative. It's performative. You're playing a part. You're playing a part. If you really believe that you didn't do it, or this is what you believe in a moment, like, nah, I didn't, no, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. You would sit there and you would look depressed. You would look sad a little bit. And then your lawyer's job is to take that, is to look at you in this moment, look at the facts that he's brought together, and try to paint the picture their way so it makes it look like you're innocent in that moment. It's all acting. It's all acting. Now, when it comes to simple court cases, no, it's open and shut. Because the facts are going to let you know wagwan in the moment, right? If somebody got something wrong, you take them to court. Simple, done, easy, you know? No, I have these papers that say otherwise. They don't got them papers. Okay, bet, we're done here. Boom, you owe him. But when it comes to ish like this, let me tell you something. This is like the Disney Channel, bruh. This is like the Disney Channel for adults when you're in court. You understand me? Like, you know, it's all acting. It's crazy.
I have the ability here today to give you a range of sentences. It could be anywhere from, here to 45. And what I'm gonna do, based on your behavior here today, I'm giving you the max. And if I was AR's lawyer, I gotta be in tune with my client, right? I gotta, before he goes in there, let him know that, bro, keeping it real goes wrong. You think you're gonna go in there, you're gonna stand tall. They won't break you if you act contrite. They'll break you if they give you another 20 years.
Now facing 4 decades in jail, AR App's story shows what happens when you spend too much time trying to convince the world that you're running the streets rather than continuing with business in silence. And now it feels like all the posturing was for nothing. He was so adamant to prove he was real too. 45 years. Everyone and everything you cared for is been gone. For what? For so many of these young men, it often feels like they were products of their environment. At times, they even momentarily seem like they might uplift it after their difficult beginnings in life. But for someone like Atlanta's Rollo, his journey has been a roller coaster, and his tendency to incriminate himself certainly didn't help matters. Raised by a single mother, a young Rollo would end up homeless between the ages of 12 to 14. His father was making money in the streets as a drug dealer, but that didn't help him, considering that they didn't have a relationship. Despite them being distant, Rollo ended up entering into the same line of work as his father, and by the time he was 16 years old, he had been detained in juvenile detention centers 32 times for selling drugs and shootings.
Whoa, say that again, please.
Rollo ended up entering into the same line of work as his father, and by the time he was 16 years old, he had been detained in juvenile detention centers 32 times for selling.
At 16 years old, you've been in juvenile detention centers 32 different times? Nigga, stay there.
Drugs and shootings. After he envisioned a better life as an MC, Rollo used his connections to not only maneuver his way through the streets, but to get his rap career underway. At the age of 19, he dropped his debut project, Fam American Gangster, with the help of his friend Young Scooter. Through his mentor, he got featured with the likes of Future on Can't Lie, and eventually, he'd be rubbing shoulders with the likes of Gucci Mane and 21 Savage. Meanwhile, Rollo used his status as a real street sweeper to garner a status as a hood legend, and this enabled his operation to surpass whatever his father would have imagined during his days slinging drugs. But the problem is that he wanted everyone to know about just how much he'd come up in the world, even if a lot of the proceeds weren't always gained through legal means.
Look up Google, and they say I'm nickel $500,000. Hey, listen here. The apartments cost $2 million, nigga. That car cost $500,000, nigga. That Hill Academy vet, nigga, I paid.
Put your money in the bank. You're not smart enough to have that money on you. Put that money in the bank, bruh. And you wonder why they be getting robbed out the wazoo. Put that money in the bank. What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't know the strategies to keeping the money outside the bank. Why would you do that? Make it make sense. I don't care how it looks stacked together. Talking about they were gonna make pyramids out of money. Yo, bro, put that money in the bank, bro. Put it in the bank. Get your phone. Download one of them crypto apps. Download one of them stock apps. You got rich connections. You got rich friends. Get info from them. I'm not talking about no stock information. I don't do that here. This is all for entertainment purposes, just for protection. My point is, you got people in high places at the level that you at. Your label can put you in front of those people to get you the info you need to invest your money correctly. Put your money in a bank, and when you put it in the bank, take some of it, invest it. That's your alternative bank account when you put away your investments. Do that, triple your money. If you're going to keep your money outside the bank, buy gold. Don't keep no damn bills on you. That's stupid. Buy gold, keep it on you. The one thing I know about when it comes to gold is that it's always going to have value no matter what. Now, the value fluctuates. But when its value is up, your money is going to skyrocket. Go buy some bricks. Use your brain. Keep the money off you. Go buy some bricks. Lock it up in your place. Whatever mansion you got, lock that up. Because that's your currency right there. Gold bricks. If you want to keep cash on you like that. You know, some dudes, they buy gold chains for a reason. Because once you sell it, you can get some more money from what you originally bought it at. That's why I see some people with them gold chains. Don't buy nothing sparkly. Because them diamonds are plastic. Just made to look like diamonds. Take in how easy it is to make a diamond. Think about that. To make a fake diamond, it's easy as hell. And it costs almost nothing. But when it comes to gold, you can't fake that unless you buy it from some idiot. Go get yourself some gold, bruh. This is ridiculous.
$100,000 P for them bitches. I was the first nigga in the city with them motherfuckers. So you need to go on and tell Google, stop lying on me.
Attempting to launder some money he was raking in, Rollo bought an entire block and owned 26 apartment units while giving a percentage
the IRS gonna sweep that.
of his money back to his community.
We godly men. We sit up here and we pray. We ain't on no shit. We ain't selling no dope over here in the apartment. I'm Mr. Dog Food. I been did that. Ain't gotta do that again in my life. You can down there call this a homeless shelter if you want to.
But when he wasn't overseeing his empire, Rollo was known to run his mouth about the inner workings of it all in a way that couldn't help but raise eyebrows amid law enforcement.
I was the biggest drug dealer in the bluff for a long period of time. I had the Bluff and I had Simpson. I had the best.
Nigga, you look like the Cookie Monster. See why you can't give these dudes money?
Quality drugs, and I also had large quantity for a lower price. You know what I'm saying? So I was out beating all my competition around the way. And like I said, I had all my dudes. We just built this drug empire.
And when asked if he had any regrets, Rollo insisted it was simply all he knew. As entertaining as Rollo's interviews were, this was part of the problem for him. Where real G's move in silence, he was doing the opposite of keeping a low profile and was often caught self-snitching. Due to essentially taking the stand on his interviews, it didn't exactly keep the police off his back. So even when he tried to go legit, there was still a target on his back, and his tendency to flex his money really didn't help. Plus, the fact that he had a habit of mocking the cops for their impoverished lifestyles compared to him probably made him an even bigger target for law enforcement.
They be at home like, damn, I ain't gonna never make it in life. Like, how you gonna ever make some money out of this? But you agree? I think if you arrest somebody, that shit like murder. You f***ing somebody. Look at here, old pussy ass, get on the phone, call him. His bum man probably make $45,000 to $48,000 a year. he gotta say yes or no sir to him. Shit, he might well come work for me. We got the dog food. Now accepting application, officer. We're now accepting application. But we tell them, all shit, pop shit.
Well, can't stop shit.
Please, not in one bit.
Y'all reciting nursery rhymes? Serious? In front of the police, you reciting nursery rhymes? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This ain't real.
I cannot hear. Every day of my life, I wake up 10, 20 $1 million. What you wake up to? What you got, 10,000, 20,000 in your account? Even if you saved up that within a 5-year span?
And eventually, his luck would run out when his private plane was caught pulling into DeKalb Peachtree Airport with 444 pounds of marijuana on it. In terms of street value, that's around $1 million worth of weed. After he was taken into custody, Rollo was held without bond, but he wasn't going down without a fight. And soon, his manager Queen told the media that he was being unfairly persecuted.
America is the record label that Rollo started. He started that so that he'll be able to sign artists. He signed himself to put out his own music.
And there are a lot of different allegations brought against him. Possession of drugs with intent to distribute.
That Gucci look good on her, don't it?
Allegations of being affiliated with a gang, and 2 different incidents where police are saying they found marijuana with the street value of nearly $2 million. It's a lot that's written in the documents. You know, what's your response to all of that?
The sad part is I don't understand why when black people come together, it can be considered a gang. Just because I love my brother and I want to be around my brother, why is that a gang?
She goes on to say the artist may have been targeted because of his unapologetic music.
He has been targeted because of his song, because of his lyrics, because of his faith.
His Instagram is also mentioned in the complaint documents. What was your reaction when you saw that they actually quoted an Instagram caption?
I mean, everybody knows that Instagram is for entertainment. How many people that you know put on a show for Instagram? Everyone.
Despite the fact that he was facing a very grim future, Rollo refused to roll over. And when the cops tried to get him to cooperate, he wasn't having it. In an IG post in 2019, his team revealed that the government offered him 5 years on his birthday. He smiled, laughed, got off the...
Hey, Furry B, that's good to know, bro. Quickie, let me tell you something, bro. There are ways to getting clean money into the bank, okay? Now, if the money dirty, clean it. He knows what he's doing. Okay? He's holding all this money to drop it off. We're not stupid. He gonna drop that shit off, bro. Clean that shit. Put it in the bank. Use it. Put it in investments. Or there's other ways to taking that money and investing it other ways. There's other ways to invest that. You just got to know those proper sources to utilize in moments like that. There are ways to make it happen. Now, what I'm speaking about is strictly for entertainment purposes. Don't get that twisted. Everything that I am talking about could be fictional. That's all I'm saying.
The phone with his lawyer and fed his entire dorm bags of commissary. But ultimately, he hit a stumbling block to freedom in 2020 when his bond was revoked after prosecutors presented evidence that Rollo had continued participating in the distribution of drugs following his arrest in this case and while in custody. Apparently, the mother of Rollo's children had written notes that the prosecutors were able to obtain, which said things like, save up every dollar you receive from grandma and keep count of all the kids at dad's house, so you can know how much you got at all times. A separate set of documents allegedly had values for ounces of food, and a note that every ounce is 28 grams. Those documents demonstrate defendant Davis's efforts to continue distributing narcotics after his arrest in this case, the prosecutor wrote. There simply can be no other conclusion from his efforts to establish pricing and distribution for 8 balls and grams, his instruction against the use of shake, and his warning to be wary of law enforcement listening. Knowing he was caught, Rollo eventually pleaded guilty to various charges, leading his sentence to being reduced from 97 to 20 months. Released in 2023, he emerged and immediately took aim at those people who had snitched on him while defending notable YSL informant Lil Woody. What about all 17 of them informants that told the feds I shot and killed over 8 people? Rollo began his message about legal woes. Y'all ain't on social media asking...
I know that's not how you spell y'all. I know that's not how you spell y'all. That's crazy.
Them for page 8, or going at them like y'all going at Lil Woody. I see y'all still with them every day. Now seeking to rebuild his career, there are some who would argue that Rollo got off slightly if he was truly a kingpin. But others felt that his journey set a poor precedent, leading to not only his own downfall, but that of others who looked to emulate him. Coldest part is that a lot of the young-minded hustlers saw it, tried to mimic it for social media, and then got indicted for copying his footsteps. This is exactly how the OGs didn't move. Clout is a hell of a drug. There are grounds for this, because sometimes rappers aren't even established when they begin to incriminate themselves in ways that prove unsalvageable. For a brief window in time, Pop Out Blick was believed to be the next big rapper from Philly. He even hailed from the same neighborhood as the late PNB Rock.
Like Rock was definitely
the whole community living rent free. All jokes aside, though, all of this is more of a sociological conversation than it is a psychological one. But I know that's an entirely different conversation, bro. When we even get into the sociological part of this, bro, it's game over for this live because we're gonna be here for another 3 hours. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Like a big inspiration, like no bullshit. Like bro, definitely like motivated. You feel me? Like he showed niggas like we from the same block, so like he showed niggas like yeah, like shit possible. Like niggas could do that shit. You feel me? Like growing up and shit. Like we watching that shit really like evolve type shit. You feel me? So like that shit different, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
And despite his own errant moves, he advised others to stay far away from the street life he'd led.
So before we get out of here, what's just a message that you can give to the youth?
I'm gonna keep it a bean, like to all the little niggas out there, like that fuck with me, like don't hop in the streets, like real shit, bro. Like that shit not thorough, bro. Like don't let a crowd influence y'all, no bullshit. Like don't let nobody influence y'all to do some nut shit that y'all know. Like you feel me? Like go to school, bro. Real shit, bro. Like this shit ain't fun, bro. This shit scary. Like I'm.
Respectfully, you're gonna say that, but you're gonna go back to doing the same thing. What a lot of people need to understand, if you want to convince somebody to not do something, don't tell them not to do it because they're going to do it. You need to break down the exact reasons as to why this is a bad idea for you. List the pros, list the cons, and let them know that all of this that's happening here is going on. The fans are watching you like God. You're cooked from the start. Because they got eyes on you from when you enter and when you exit. And you will never know.
18, bro, and look at my situation.
But clearly, he didn't take his own advice. And before long, his crimes and his decision to chronicle them in his music would catch up with them. On the evening of April 28th, 2 separate cars of young men pulled up to a house with the intention of making a deal for a gun worth $1,000. However, what the naive salesman didn't realize was that Blick, alongside 23-year-old Tyree Lennon and 17-year-old Khalif Fresgy, had no intention of spending any money that day. Once inside the house, things turned volatile, and it eventually devolved into a shootout between the rival crews. By the end of the battle, 3 men were dead, and another had to go to the hospital with a bullet wound in his abdomen. When police arrived on the scene, they discovered the body of 14-year-old Salah Fleming in the doorway, while 17-year-old Malik Bellard was found unresponsive on the sidewalk. Although it's unclear exactly what took place and who shot who, Pop Out Blick's crew took a loss too, as Khalif Fresgy, otherwise known as Leaky, was found on the front porch. Soon, a warrant was issued for the arrest of Pop Out Blick, but he had no intention of turning himself in. When you're trying to evade the police, the strategy is usually to keep as much of a low profile as possible. Instead of keeping his head down, Pop Out Blick kept dropping music. While that's inadvisable enough, what sealed his fate was that the tracks he was dropping were basically a signed confession to the crimes. On the track Took a Risk, for example, Pop Out basically gave a play-by-play of what went down that day, and even had the audacity to name his fallen victims. Over the course of the song, he declared that Salah fell on his chest and then he started spitting up, and Leaky got left on the sidewalk. He ain't getting up. Later, he continued to disrespect, spitting, "We got 2 new Vicks. We called him Double L for Lon Leaky, later claiming that them dudes died because they ain't give it up, and he said he was a risker. He took a risk trying to meet with us. They got ghost Glocks with fake buttons. They can't beef with us. Blick was really upping the disrespect, rather than trying to outrun the warrant. Soon, he doubled down with Double Coffins, a track which celebrated the death of 2 men and basically told the story of what happened. They just trying to catch a shooting. Them young boys died for playing tough, said Blick, later adding, them young boys thought that we were cool, and then we double-crossed them. Incriminating as this was, he was about to seal his fate when his pride wouldn't allow rumors to circulate. After an alert from a Philly Crime Update Twitter account revealed that a man had been shot numerous times in West Philly, various crews would say that Hop Out Blick was the victim and that they had carried out the crime. But the next day, Blick went on live to let the world know that he was alive and well.
Bro, you see how they be trolling though? Like, niggas really jerking right, bro. Yeah, they jerking right, bro. They scattered, bro. What? Nah, bro, that's not gangsta, bro. They scattered, bro.
Whether or not this revealed his location, it only took 8 days for the cops to close in, and both he and Tyree Lennon were taken into custody. Once the police had them where they wanted, they were charged with 2 counts of murder, attempted murder, robbery, and illegal gun possession. If convicted, the 2 men are likely to spend life in prison. But what most people didn't know at the time was that
he did what?
almost immediately after he dropped his most vicious tracks, which dissed his dead enemies, Hop Out tried to launch his contingency plan with a post to his Instagram that acted as a disclaimer. I do not have any involvement in drugs or sales of drugs, nor partake in any involvement in street crime, he wrote. This account is strictly for entertainment purposes only, but this won't
Don't take my words.
Exactly wash when you consider that recently, Blick unveiled a music video from inside the prison, where his old persona is still on full display. In the process, he's likely jeopardized whatever defense his team is building in the process. However, he's hardly the only rapper whose own youthful exuberance and decision to blend his real-life crimes into his music videos has had a terrible outcome. Just look at the tragic story of Tay-K. Born Tamor Trevon McIntyre, Tay-K first picked up a mic at the tender age of 14 as a member of the Daytona Boys in his adopted hometown of Dallas, Texas. Originally from Long Beach, Tay and his sister were forced into foster care due to a fractious relationship with his mother, who, according to the rapper, was a member of the Baby Insane Crips. Left to fend for himself in Texas, Tay-K joined an Arlington branch of the Hoover Crips, and before long, he was implicated in a host of gang activity. In 2015, he had his first brush with the law when he was placed in the passenger seat of fellow Daytona boy Eric Jamal Johnson's car.
Hey, let me tell you something. We all know about this story. We all know about this story, bruh. We all know about the race. Listen, I think I was in high school. When was this? I think was I in high school for the race? No, I was outside of high school. I think I was in college for the race when that was happening.
As Johnson gunned down a college student. Johnson was later sentenced to 44 years for the murder, while Tay-K avoided prosecution. But another crime was about to put him on the map and lead to his strange career trajectory going down in hip-hop history. Back in 2017, the Texas-based MC, who was just 16 at the time, stood accused of murdering Ethan Walker in cold blood after a home invasion went wrong. Later, he cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run to evade the cops. But rather than just disappearing, he informed the whole world of his plans. On March 27th, Tay-K tweeted, "This house arrest, 12 is gonna have to catch me on Hood." From there, Tay-K chronicled the experience of being a wanted fugitive on his viral track, The Race, which reached number 44 on the Billboard charts and was later certified platinum. Seen holding his own wanted poster in the music video, this track made him the first rapper to ever make a worldwide hit while legitimately being on the run from the cops. But his crime spree didn't end there. And as he travels from Texas to New Jersey, he allegedly killed 23-year-old Mark Saldivar and attacked 65-year-old Oni Pepe. After being apprehended in New Jersey, Tay-K was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 55 years in prison. During the trial, the lyrics and visuals behind The Race were admitted as evidence for the prosecution, and despite his attorney's efforts to clear his name, this was one situation he just could not outrun.
Man, that attorney was just there for a check. He wasn't gonna try and fear him. That boy was not gonna be free. That attorney was a prop. Okay, he was not there for you. He was there for the other team. You understand me? You were cooked from the start.
Tay agreed to participate in the robbery.
Take your hand off his shoulder like you care.
Tay participated in a robbery. But he stood up here yesterday in front of you and in front of this court and accepted responsibility for what he agreed to do and what he participated in, and pled guilty to the robbery by threats using a gun, threatening somebody with a gun in counts 3 and counts 4. And the boys were supposed to come in and hold everybody off. And
look at Auntie in the corner. Boy, you bullshit.
and TK had a bag. He was going to get the money and the drugs from under the couch. Well, that's not what happened. Everything went tragically wrong in there.
As it stands, he'll be 74 years old when he's released from jail, but he hasn't given up on having his conviction overturned.
Nigga, how old?
Everything went tragically wrong in there.
As it stands, he'll be 74 years old when
He'll be 74 years old when he get out? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Tragically wrong in there.
As it stands, he'll be 74 years old when he's released from jail, but he hasn't given up on having his conviction overturned. Taking to Twitter in 2023, he wrote, "I'm at war within. I feel like a hamster here. They're literally treating me like a ferret in here." Previously, TK has also rallied against the length of his sentences and said that prejudice was behind it. "I really need just one chance at adulthood," he tweeted. "I bet if I was a little white kid, they wouldn't have given me no 55 years for a crime I was alleged to play the most insignificant role in when I was 16. They would have argued that my mind wasn't fully developed and gave me rehabilitation and a second chance at adulthood. One of my co-defendants was a white girl who was 16 just like me," he declared. "They didn't certify her as an adult, but they certified me and Pimp as adults. Pimp got 30. I got 55. She ended up getting 10 years of probation without no deal. That girl at home right now." Amid asking Kim Kardashian for help to free him, TK's occasionally active X account has also been—
I have seen it all. I have seen it all. Let me get
asking
this
Kim
right.
Kardashian
You gonna try to tag Kim Kardashian to help you? I have seen it all. This is not a real world we are in. This is a fictional realm. Everything that we are witnessing right now is not real because I can't believe this nonsense. You gonna tag Kim Kardashian? Wasn't she just taking dick from Drake? Yo, this is not a real place. This is not a real place. She just
for help to free him. TK's occasionally active X account has also been used to discuss the violence that he's been around in the 5 years he's been behind bars. "A dude in the cell by me killed his cellie with a tray and stood on his head. Whoa," he said in January of 2023. And even though his attempts to be freed are being largely ignored by the law, TK has insisted that he's renounced the life of crime and that the merciless man in the race video no longer exists.
Like, I'm in jail. I don't know. If I do get out, I know I'm home. I'm done robbing, getting leaks. I'm not doing none of that.
For TK, his links to the street meant that he never really got to reap the rewards of his blossoming career. Perhaps if he had the chance to escape via his rhymes, he wouldn't even—
No, Furry B, but you gotta understand, I know what she was doing, the whole prison reform thing, but just think about who we are asking right now. Just think about that. My guy, you talk to Attorney Crump. Yes, I know about Attorney Crump. Talk to him. Tag him. You gonna tag Kim Kardashian? She just took dick from Drake. What are we on right now?
even be in the predicament he's in today. But sometimes, the street life follows you all the way into the charmed existence of a platinum-selling hip-hop star, and that same tendency towards self-snitching can put you in a whole lot of trouble. If you're a hip-hop fan, then you'll be aware of who Lil Durk is by now. A leading figure in Chicago hip-hop, Durkio became known as the voice of his generation. But this wasn't without heavy losses. Most notably, the passing of his dear friend and O-Block General King Von, a signee to his OTF label, who was killed in Atlanta following a confrontation with fellow rapper Quando Rondo's entourage.
I'm thinking it's some regular individuals, so I'm letting this group come by. Next thing you know, a nigga hit me. Boom, bam. Man, like, I lie to you not, man. I lie to you not.
This man wearing a shiesty like a hijab. What are you, brother?
It's like I had an out-of-body experience.
But while Quando remains alive and well, it seems like Durk may have been more rattled by online comments than he acted and set out on a plan to get his revenge. After the internet relentlessly urged him to slide.
Y'all, listen. I know the work Kim Kardashian has done. I'm just having fun with it because look at who we looking at for help. Is what I'm saying. Okay, that's all. That's literally all I'm saying. I know what she did. I know what she has done to help a lot of inmates, and I respect it. I'm just saying, look at the person that did it, bro. I'm sorry. That's literally all I'm saying. I'm not talking about the work she's done. I'm just talking about the person herself. Because she can't run from her past.
And avenge King Von's death, a murder plot began to take shape. And just days after he was given the key to the city of Chicago, Durk's life came crashing down after it was alleged that he greenlit a murder-for-hire plot that resulted in the death of his longtime foe, Quando Rondo's close ally Lil Pop, leading to him famously cry in anguish as the cops arrived.
He's pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic.
Durk later sampled this in a song, making it clear how deep the bad blood between them went. They be on my page like Slide for Vaughn, I know they trolling me. Outside with y'all big homie, beyond, I keep them folks with me. Got it back in blood, y'all just don't know, that's how it's supposed to be. Called him for a feature just to kill him cause we know he's sweet. Later on that same track, he seemingly referred to Lil Pop's death when he said, "You better do what Nardo said, cause people die for pumping gas." A clear sub about how Pop was killed at a gas station. Another verse of note was his contribution to Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy with Babyface Ray, a song which prosecutors said featured him recounting how the killing of Lil Pop came about. Told me they got the Addy, go go. Got the location, go go. Green light, go go go. Durk raps in the song. Look on the news and see your son. You screaming no, no. But the self-snitching wasn't limited to music either. During an appearance on Academics' Off the Record podcast, recorded after Pop's passing, Durk slyly said that all of the Slide for Vaughn discussion had died down for some weird reason.
You be seeing them comments a lot? They kind of chilled out a little bit. Yeah, though. We different in Iraq. I feel like speaking of parables, I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's... we have nothing to do with nothing. I'm saying, that's like me just claiming something I want to.
Fast forward to now, and a murder-for-hire plot came together, with Durk allegedly telling his associates that they shouldn't book no flights under no names involved with me. But when they headed
Yo, Furry B, don't kill me, bro.
To Cali to carry out the hit, they did so under one of his record labels' credit cards. Allegedly, the apparent assailants OTF Didi, Vonnie, and 072 Boogie head to California to meet another member by the name of Keon Grant. Intent on catching up to Quando and his crew, they tailed them throughout the day until eventually opening fire. Once they were snatched up by the feds, Durk allegedly attempted to flee the country, booking flights to Switzerland and Dubai, but was captured before he could successfully escape. Since then, things have been looking grim for Durkio, with claims that snitching was rampant in the OTF ranks, meaning that he may well be cooked. But it's clear that he's not going down without a fight, and among the main things he's trying to fight against is his music being admissible as evidence. In April of 2025, he released a video statement decrying attempts to use his bars and insisting that they were art. And since then, it has been ruled that prosecutors won't be allowed to do so following the public outcry against it. But not every rapper has a platform like Dirk's to get that word out. And all too often, prosecutors can form an opinion of the accused through their music and lyrics long before it even gets to the trial itself. With that in mind, we need these rappers, both aspiring and established, to be a little wiser about what they share. Because otherwise, they're just gonna keep giving the courts absolute home runs when it comes to presenting evidence. It's time for the era of self-snitching to end. Because if it can affect someone as big as Lil Durk, who knows who'll be next to have their lyrics read back to them in a court of law.
Exactly. Exactly, bruh. It don't matter who you is. If you're not playing the game right, they gonna get you. They're getting a little bit too comfortable with their work, bruh. They don't understand that your actions really do have consequences. And when you are a rapper, your actions not only have consequences, but they are also amplified on a high multiple. I'm not talking about 2-3 times. I'm talking about 7-8. Because you're in the limelight. Everyone gonna watch you. If you're going to choose the route of being a rapper, you need to understand your bars matter. And after watching this video, God damn it, your bars, they don't only matter, they are just crucial. Because say the wrong thing, you are cooked. You are cooked beyond belief, bruh. These guys out here literally telling stories about the things they've done or witnessed, or they're talking about something similar, but then there's a crime that happens and then they're a part of it, and look at the lyrics and it matches the crime setup. My point is, lie. That's my point. Lie. Lie and lie again, please. I can't deal with these dudes, bro. We can't deal with these dudes. Listen, Jordan, you know they're not gonna hush, so they might as well lie about their ish. Look at Fat Joe. Look at Fat Joe. He lied about 80% of his raps. Now look where he at. He good. Lie. Jesus, bro. Is that John Kabongo? Oh, look at that. Anyway. Lie, lie, and lie again. That's it, man. That's it. That's it. Because look at what you're doing with yourself at this point, bruh. It's kind of ridiculous. Ugh. That's just another video down, man. That was a hell of a video. I won't lie. I don't disagree that Dirk set up Vaughn, but like, it's the proof it is the problem. Holy. All right, what else? I think I have time for like one more. I think I have time for one more. And that one more is this one. Now, before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick piss because all that water is running through my body right now. I'll be back. Alright, boom. Ugh. Bet. Let's get to this last one, bro. Man, where do I even want to start? I think I want to start by just talking about this dude for a second. Major in English is hilarious. All right. So this is going to be the last one. We're going to head over to Instagram for this one. So as you can see from this individual right here, let me tell you something. I told y'all before that I'm starting to actually listen to a lot more people within the industry because they are really giving out knowledge and information that artists can utilize, or just topics that people can listen to in general to sit back and learn from. So I've been watching this dude for a little bit. Salute to Toronto Rap Stars, Broken Playground. I see y'all following him. It's important to learn from people like this, because what people are not understanding is that entertainment changes every day. There's always something different that happens. There's always something new that comes around. It's a daily change. Not weekly, not no bi-weekly, not monthly. It's daily. And if you don't have the right people in the industry that can listen and learn and kind of choose who they want to work with, you're going to run into a lot of problems and a lot of missed out opportunity. And with every missed out opportunity, that's missed out money or potential revenue that you could have gotten. So Mr. Ruse, I like to call him Mr. Ruse, we're going to tap in with his content. Specifically this one right here. I think this is a good topic to end on. Salute to his platform, The Manager's Playbook. Y'all can learn a lot from dude. So let's go ahead and listen to a couple slides of what this individual is talking about, and then we can get into the nitty gritty. And y'all know me, I'm going to say what I need to say. So let's make it happen, bro.
You feel like everybody should get cut? I think everyone should get fired.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone should get fired. It's like, I think it's a real fucking life lesson. Getting fired, it's like...
Oh, just in general. So not specific to like everybody. You just mean everybody should get fired at one point.
Yeah,
or another.
yeah.
All right, tell me more.
No, I think everyone should get fired at some point because there's nothing that will test your character more than that.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been somewhere for a while. I think like, get fired, you figure it out. You go, oh shit, I'm more than just this job. I've actually got experience. I can do things. Yes, it's tricky, but I've got to figure this out. And once you've weathered that, like, no one can trouble you after that. It doesn't mean don't get a job again, get a job. But once you've had that and weathered that and navigated it,
yeah,
what else can test you?
You feel like everybody...
So this individual right here is Rich Castillo. I see the point that he's trying to make, but I feel like you can take it a big step further. So let's keep going. So, forced growth. Getting fired strips away comfort. It forces you to reset, to figure out who you are without the title. There's a reason why I want to talk about this for my last topic, because this is something I would not necessarily want to aim at the music industry, but it's something that I want to talk about with the music industry in mind. So let's keep going down these slides. Character check. That moment tests you. Do you crumble or rebuild sharper, hungrier, and stronger?
You've been fired before?
Yeah, I have. I fired my first job.
Okay.
I got fired because the business wasn't quite working. It's funny, I got fired just before I had a big moment. I had a group, I was a management company, I had a group just before they broke. I got let go because I spent too much time on this group and we weren't making any money at the time.
Mm.
And I got let go. I had to deal with it. I managed to get some consultancies. I managed to survive in London. But I was like, what the fuck? What am I going to do? And literally, I was able to continue working the group I was already working on.
How old were you?
I was 24.
Wow, young. Okay.
24. I was just in London for 3 years. I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I got fired. I was like, oh God. So I used all my contacts. I managed to get 2 consultancies. Within 2 months, I was making like maybe 3 times what I was making working for the guy full time through consultancies. And just after that, the first group I worked with properly ended up broke.
Mm.
We had midweek really high, and all of a sudden my phone wouldn't stop calling. And I've never looked back since.
You've been fired before?
Failure isn't final in the business. Failure isn't the end. It's often the start to everything that comes next. Now, like I said, there's a reason why I wanted to talk about this, because when it comes to the industry now, y'all know me already. I learn a lot from different executives within the industry or people that work within the industry. The one common thing that I always hear from them is that the people that are high up there, they really don't know. They're just basing it off of what they see on the internet. So think about how everything is built and everything is structured based on that one point. Let's use the internet to kind of drive music sales. So how are they going to do that? They are going to utilize certain conflicts and drama to push music. They'll start drama between artists, especially with female artists. With female artists, they use the drama to push their music, whether if it's a single project, whatever. And through that route is how they maximize their revenue with that kind of like channel or source that they're using to bring in profit, right? So watch this now. I mentioned this yesterday, if I'm correct. When you're trying to push your music, are you trying to push to a minority or a majority? Think about it. You have a minority demographic and you have a majority demographic. Are you pushing to the minority or the majority? Almost all the time, they're pushing to a minority, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to push to the minority, but push it in a way that they can maximize from this crowd of individuals, which is what they do for most of music. Looking at the music today, after all the videos we watched today, we talked about streaming, we talked about the self-snitching. Those are different audiences, those are different demographics that music's being pushed to, but it's not a major demographic, it's not a major audience. The reality is those are minorities. Even though you have this amount of people watching you at one time, say for example on Kai Snatch stream, that's still not the overall population. Just think about that for a second. It's kind of nasty. What's good, Brianne? How you doing? It's kind of twisted because the whole business model is flawed. And if you're creating a business off the business model which is flawed, we have a problem. So when I look at this right here, everyone in the music business should get fired. Yeah. If you want to utilize the resources of today, you need to understand what these things are about. And to understand that, you need to also realize the reality of the situation that you are in as somebody that occupies a chair at the top. It might not even be for you. Whatever we're doing down here, whether if it's on streaming, whether it's out there with any kind of like event, any kind of like tradition, anything like that, a lot of times they're not going to know about it. They're not going to know about the music. They're not going to know about the trends. They're not going to understand, what's it called? They're not going to understand certain slang terms. They're not going to understand how we move in today's society, how things have changed from back then. They're not going to understand that. They're not going to understand how minimalistic a lot of us move nowadays. When it can come all the way down to how we dress, how we think, and how we act. They might not understand. They might get concepts from it. They might understand ideas of it. They might go out and hire somebody to help them understand it, or they will hire somebody to get this done for them. But at the end of the day, these things are happening because they're in the chairs. So now you got to sit there and think, it's like, how do we work with y'all knowing that this is something you probably would never understand, that this is something you would never get, That's why when I was talking about the streamers and everything, there are so many opportunities to work with them. There are so many possibilities to working with streamers. And I'm only talking about streamers alone. With streaming, there's a whole lot of creativity that goes into it that's going to make it work. Issue is that you're not going to understand it, or you're not going to even comprehend the creativity behind this to think of something unique that you can use to maximize on your profit. At the end of the day, it's like, how much more money do you want to make? That's the key. If you want this company to be the best and to maximize on their profit so that everybody can get a nice slice of cake, you also need to understand that in today's world, you're constantly learning. You're constantly educating yourself. Same thing when we look at all these the self-snitching rappers out there. The reason why that's like that is because of the lack of education. Everything is changing daily, like I said, constantly, over and over and over. Things are evolving, things are improving, or we're introduced into something new that we could utilize as a resource to better our lives. The industry, the music industry, there are so many different ways where they can work with different people in their cities, no matter where they're from. But I think the business-oriented minds out there not necessarily are outdated, because remember, if you're simplifying the workload, you're not necessarily giving up. You're just seeing it from an angle that you know that you can get this maximum amount of money from. But that might not be the overall maximum. It's a twisted world out there, bro. It's a twisted world out there. So it's mainly about just like, how can we be innovative? How can we be the leaders of this so that others can follow? That's how a lot of companies be thinking. How can we drive past everybody on the charts so that we can remain dominant, so our dominance will be known? That's how a lot of these labels be thinking. And the one thing that they're not realizing is that it's not always going to come from the artist. Sometimes it comes from how well the artist can work with other people. Because by doing it like that, you can open more doors for that artist to not only work on their craft, but at the same time push music that can put them into different rooms. There are different levels to making maximum revenue, and I feel like the industry is making it at a basic level, because look at the internet and look at how music has shaped a lot of minds out there. A lot of people are thinking simple. They're not thinking innovation. They're not thinking maximizing. They're thinking what I can get at this moment. How much can I walk away with at this moment? That's how a lot of them are thinking. And majority of the time, unfortunately, it's not even a maximum that they're getting. It's something high enough where it's like, all right, cool, we're good. It's twisted out here, but that's what it comes to. That's what it is. A lot of the times, it's actually possible for a lot of us to break down how they think behind closed doors. And it doesn't even take that much brain power, which is the crazy part. Yes, there might be some prerequisites into understanding and learning these things, but overall, it's really not that hard, if we're going to be really, really honest with y'all. So, the one thing I would want to say as something to walk away with for everybody is just creativity matters, but how you use that creativity is going to matter the most. It's one thing to just be creative. It's another thing to be creative with a business mindset, which makes me go back to the quote Tyler, the Creator, had, which is like, create something create something, anything, like a toddler, whether if it's an idea for like a product, whether if it's like something where it's like, oh, let's just do this. Let's just sit back and do this together. Right? But watch this now. So you create as a toddler, as a child, but you work on it as a scientist, meaning that you're going to take this simple idea and branch this out until this tree is full. You know? You're going to work out every possibility of how you can take this to the next level and then keep doing it until you hit a ceiling with this simple idea. And then you apply a business mindset to it, which takes it to another level of thinking about it from a scientific point. So creativity matters. It's just how you're using that creativity that's going to matter the most. Yo, this is my bag, bro. When you're at the Flexing Mind Network, this is my bag. All of this, there's no script. I'm thinking on the fly. I'm looking at a wall right now. See? Look. There's no script on the wall. I'm just looking at it. That's how you know I'm locked in. This is what I do. When you're on this channel with me, this is what I do. I can't help it. My brain functions like that. I just be thinking, just like on the fly, just like, yo, you know what's crazy? Like, that's just me, bruh. That's just how I be. Hey, Josh, you're not wrong. Hey, bro. Hey, I'll be a chef. You know what I'm saying, Quickie? I'll be cooking sometimes. I can't help it, bro. It's just what I do. So, and it kind of, okay, let me finish up by saying it's like, it's kind of harsh to say everybody in the music business should be fired. But the reason why it's like that is because you're not really utilizing everything at your fingertips. You're just utilizing the things that you can understand. If you just took the time to understand the whole landscape of entertainment, we wouldn't even have these problems. But you're just taking what you know and you're running with it and you're trying to figure out how you can maximize from it. And a lot of times you're really not maximizing. You're just making the most that you can get. There's levels to all this, bro. I just want to end by saying that. But what time is it? Jesus, bro. I just be yapping. All right. I think I can call it here. Today was a good day. Today was a good live. Great videos to get to. Yeah. It was a good live today. I'm not going to lie. So at this point, this is where I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it from here, man. I'm going to call it from here. I had my fun today. That's all I know. So with that being said, I think this is where I can charge it here. Salute to everybody that stopped by. I appreciate every single one of y'all, man, for always tapping in with the Flexing Mind Network. I'm just out here trying to do my thing, trying to build, trying to just continue to grow and be great. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I need to do, you know. And we gonna figure it out at every avenue that we get to. So salute to everybody. Quickie, Frey B, Josh, Brianne. Who else we got? I want to shout y'all out. Jordan, Noah. Who else? I know Tiff was here. For sure. Mad Raven. Who else we got? TW. Plus Allison, Anara. Man, just salute to everybody tapping in, bro. I'm just doing this one day at a time. W Stream, W John Kabongo, no doubt that project was amazing. Keep doing your thing, brother. And yeah, what can I say? It's about time I head out, though. So for now, y'all gonna catch me tomorrow, all right? So listen, at this point, y'all know what I'm finna say. Take care, be well, be safe, stay true, be you, live long, and long live. Peace. Yo, Quickie, relax. Later, Raven. Later, guys. Take care of yourselves, bro. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. But wherever you are, enjoy yourself, bro. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Big Shadow Mob. You know what I'm talking about? Big shadow mob, big flex mob. Y'all know the vibe. Tight shit. All right, let me stop.